So first off, just want to thank all the subscribers. Appreciate you guys. Much love. I want to talk about an incident that happened at the Edwards Theater in El Monte that I thought was my last day ever. For real. Like I thought I wasn't gonna make it out of this shit. It was a crazy day, and it was a trip. So it starts off with I meet the homie Scooter for the first time, right? So we're at the freeze. We're chilling at the freeze in front of Monte High. I'm relatively young. I'm saying about maybe 13, early 14 at the oldest. Like I was relatively young. So I'm right there chilling at the freeze. I meet the homie Scooter. And keep in mind, for me, I'm a youngster, right? I'm been in my area, so I knew my area, but I'm barely going about getting out there like that, right? And for a lot of people in Monte, like they know there's different sections of Monte, like there's different parts of it. It's all Monte, but there's different parts of it, right? So there's certain cats that like to stay in the areas where they grew up at, and that's like the end all be all. But there's a lot of homies, especially like when you're gang banging and you're trying to get out there. You want to get out there. You want to get your name heard. You want to get your name known. So you're going out and about. Like for me, I grew up right there by the swap meet. So I chilled on like Zamora, Dahlia, and Sastre and Garvey, Rio Hondo, and Bodger. Like that was all my area, right? All right there. You'll catch me at any spots right there. But uh, like if you're young, you want to start going out and about. So you'll catch me like I said at the freeze, or you'll catch me at 5 Points. You'll catch me at Fruitvale, the North, Zamora Park, Continental. It's just like that. It's like anywhere you go, it's just like you're gonna see you're gonna try to be out there because that's where the homies are. You want to meet different homies. You want to interact. It is like it's a neighborhood. You want to be out there, right? So, well, we used to go out there because a lot of times we either go on bikes or we go walking, foot patrol. And when you go out there, what I would always see everywhere, and a lot of homies did, they seen everywhere, was scooters hit ups, scooter EMF, scooter Floridas, everywhere, right? And it'd be like, damn. So a lot of homies knew who he was. A lot of homies had they knew of him. Like he was everybody's like, man, Scooter's a fucking fool. That's the homie right there. Scooter's a fucking fool, right? And you would always hear that. And low key as a youngster, kind of pump you up, like, man, I want to meet homie, and you want to like kind of be on that same level when you're younger and shit, right? So he rose up, and I remember it being tall, like tall as fuck compared to me. I was like, oh shit, like, that was a lot bigger than I thought it'd be, because I thought I was pretty tall for a youngster, but at the same time, like that fool had like fucking size compared to me and shit. So I met him. We're chilling real quick, and like soon after, the homies come rolling through on bikes. There's about, let me see here, if I remember, four homies. I think there was two of us at the freeze already when Scooter rolled up, and then three homies came, if I remember correctly. So the homies came, and they're like, yeah, fool. They're telling us they had just saw another like neighborhood or something. Well, I mean, I don't want to say who they are, but we'll say another neighborhood chilling at the Edwards Theater, and they kind of exchanged words. They got into it, and the homies bounced. Like the homies took off. Scooter's like, what the fuck? Like, nah, hell nah, fool, that ain't gonna happen. Like, let's go back. And in my experience, my young experience, right? Because keep in mind again, like I said, I'm relatively young. In my experience, anytime homies did that, like, and the homies were outnumbered, but what happened is the homies would bounce, like pick up more homies, get what we had to get. We'd get their run backs, right? Let's run that shit back. We'd hit the spot, and they'd be gone. So a lot of the times that's how that's how I experienced it, right? So I figured they went from the theater all the way to the freeze. They seen us. We're at the freeze now. For us to go back to the theater, it's like it's not far, but we're on bikes. It's like not motorcycles, like on actual bicycles. So I'm like, by the time we get there, these fools, they're gone. There's no way they're still there, right? Like they have enough time to leave the premises without or to leave the premise without fucking the premises, yeah. I fucked that up. But to leave the area without any trace. So we're not gonna see them anymore. So I said, fuck it, we're wasting our times, whatever. I jump on the handlebars. We're riding over there. We're getting over there fast, booking it. We're booking it over there, right? And I was surprised. We got there. We got to the theater. And when we got to the theater, they're chilling. They're chilling like it's nothing. Like it's a fucking a day in the park. Right? And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? So the homies jump off mad and they start taking flight. Pink, 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 pink. And so I get in there. We start getting our little thing going. And I'm surprised. I'm surprised because the homies are like mixing these foods like nothing. There's no real like opposition where these foods they're not getting off at all. And I was tripping out like, what the fuck? Like these foods, they don't got no hands or what's happening? Like this is tripping me out. But fuck it, whatever. We're in there. We're mixing it. These fools are running. They start running. They a lot of them jump in their cars and bounce. Boom, boom, boom. They take off. Right. There's one cat. He jumps in his car. He has a hind in the car. He ends up reversing, and he kind of like comes out this way, right? And when he comes out, there's us 6 right here. Like we're like close to him, right? And he goes to reach for something. When he goes to reach for something, a lot of the homies bounced. Boom, they took off. And I don't blame them. Like, I don't blame them for running. But I will tell you something else right now. We'll get into that. Because I was always taught, if somebody reaches for something, you're not bulletproof. You're not Superman, right? So best thing to do is to bounce, and we'll get that run back. We're going to get that get back. That's what they say, right? We're going to get that shit, so don't even trip. Like it's better to live and tell the tale about it and that to fucking like be a sitting duck, be target practice. So they bounced. I'm looking at Scooter, he's still standing there, right? And he pulls that shit out. That fool pulls that shit out and points it towards us. But he has keep in mind, he has a female passenger with him. So she's on the passenger side. So he kind of goes like in her direction, right? The gun's kind of right in front of her face. And it's pointed at us. And I seen the fucking barrel of that shit. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, we're going to die, right? So I want to run. But I'm looking at Scooter. And he runs toward the car. And I had to make like a split-second decision. Am I going to save my fucking life? Or am I going to run with Scooter, right? So for me, I just thought about it. There ain't no way I'm letting the homie go on his own. That's not going to happen. You're not going to hear like Scooter got shot, Cricket fucking ran like a coward. Like, nah, that's not going to happen, right? If Scooter would have ran, I would have ran too. But you don't leave a homie behind. And I've always been taught that. Like, if a homie fucks up and makes a fucked up decision, you handle that shit with him and you deal with the consequences afterwards, right? So I'm like, fuck it, man. Like, let's go. So I run towards the car too. I don't know exactly what was our plan, but we ran towards the car, and I guess homie in the car realized if he were to shoot, there's too much of a chance of maybe the shell coming out, hitting the girl in the face. Maybe like there's too much that could have went wrong with the passenger because he had a female passenger there. So he put the gun away, and then he says, fuck you, and he threw something at us. And if I remember correctly, it hit Scooter, boom, and that fool takes off, boom. Like he's trying to take off. Scooter picks it up, he's like, feed me Calvin Klein, gracias. He threw a Calvin Klein fucking cologne at us. And Scooter kinds of run towards him. And he just bounces out. Boom, that fool takes off in the car and shit. And I remember tripping out like, man, this motherfucker is a fucking fool. Like, he's a fucking maniac, right? And that fool's like, tells me, like, I just came up on fucking Calvin Klein cologne, G. The homie, he didn't say G back then. But yeah, I just came up on Calvin Klein cologne, homie. And he's like, feed me. And I was just tripping out like, man, this motherfucker is wild. It was a trip, man, because I really thought we were gonna die, and now I started laughing because I was just like, the insanity of homie being like excited over the Calvin Klein cologne. But back then you have to remember that CK1 was popping, that shit was popping back then, so like everybody wanted that shit. So homie just came up, And I know that the fool in the ride, he was probably pissed. He was so pissed. He just wanted to get us. He wanted a blast, but he didn't want to fuck up the passenger. So he's like, fuck it. Anything, right? Like sometimes you just get so mad that you just have to release that shit. And but yeah, so we ended up fucking jumping on the V class and heading out. And yeah, that was the first time I ever met the homie Scooter. This motherfucking fool right there. Like he was a fucking G. Yeah, so for anyone who wants, he started his channel too. So homie Scooter has started his channel. His is a little different. There's a lot of comedic elements to it. A lot of he does tattoos. So go ahead and check him out. I got the link in the description. Also, there's his handle up there. Uh, it's Sharpest Art TV on YouTube. Go ahead and look that up. Yeah, so appreciate that. Hope everybody has a good day. Much love to the Nasty Crew. Much love to all my YA babies. And with that, we out. Peace.